Well, we got college football coming to you this weekend. FCS semifinals going down Saturday. We'll have a new national champion for the first time in 3 years after North Dakota State. The winner of the last 8 of the last 9 titles, they went down the quarterfinals. So we're down to the final 4. South Dakota State taking on Delaware, followed by Sam Houston and James Madison in that second game. So here's how it's breaking down this weekend. The Jackrabbits taking on the Blue Hens, the lone unseeded team left in the semifinals. South Dakota State coming in as an 8.5-point favorite over Delaware. Delaware, by the way, upset Jacksonville State in the quarterfinals to get here, but two teams we're talking about putting the perfect record on the line. James Madison 7-0 and Sam Houston 8-0. Winner heads to the Natty, and that game taking place at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's bring in Emory Hunt to break this all down. Let's start with that marquee game there with the Dukes taking on the Bearcats. Break down some of the keys here for each team to make it to the championship.
I mean, when you talk about defense, you're going to talk about this matchup, and you're going to start with Sam Houston State, who's the home team. Outstanding athleticism across the board. You look at what they do out there on a perimeter, which is going to be huge in this ball game, taking away the passing game. And that's Zion McCollum, the outstanding corner. He's an NFL prospect that you want to keep an eye on for 2022. He did a great job last week against North Dakota State in shutting down Christian Watson, who only score came on a punt return. So be on the lookout for him, trying to slow down that passing game, trying to make James Madison one-dimensional. Both defenses are excellent in this ball game. And when you look at James Madison, their run game is what leads them to victory more often than not. But their defense is stingy. They gave fits all last weekend to their opponent, but up front is where they had their success. They can run the football. They go 3 deep in the backfield. And I think when you look at this game, it'll be a tightly contested one, almost like a tug-of-war struggle match between both offenses. But I do like James Madison to cover here in the end. And I would also take the under. When you look at James Madison and how they play, they have a little bit more experience in the situation. Eric Smith, the quarterback of Sam Houston State, is talented. He's going to be a tremendous player for the Bearcats, but he's a freshman, and he goes through bouts of inconsistency within the game. And any lost possession against James Madison will end up costing you the game.
All right, James Madison getting a slight favorite there, -1 against the Bearcats. What's your best bet between these two on Saturday?
My best bet between these two would be to take the under. I don't see many points being scored. Both defenses are outstanding. You talk about North Dakota State, one of the premier teams in the FCS. Sam Houston State kept those guys scoreless on offense. They scored 2 special teams touchdowns. So look for both defenses to come ready to play. Championship game on the line. So I would take the under as the best bet.
All right, James Madison, the most recent championship. They captured that title back in 2016. Let's look at the other game here. Delaware taking on South Dakota State. What are you watching between these two here?
Starting with South Dakota State, I love their running back, Pierre Strong. He is outstanding, can do it well on both ends of offense. So he's a tremendous receiver coming out of the backfield, but he has the feet like Amp Lee. Very fluid, very athletic, very elusive type back that can make you miss in the phone booth. So you look at what they do well offensively, but on the other side of the ball, this is a team that does a great job in also being opportunistic on defense. So you like what they are able to do on that side of the ball, but I do feel as though they're a little bit inconsistent at times in games. And if you're able to close out a ball game, it took a penalty or a non-touchdown call last week against Southern Illinois that gave them the motivation to get back into the ball game. Otherwise, we'll be talking about SIU versus Delaware. But when you look at Delaware, Nolan Henderson, the outstanding quarterback, this dude reminds me a lot of a Jeff Garcia type, and maybe someone will talk down the line as an NFL prospect. But Delaware's defense is CAA approved. That's the conference they play in. They're stout on both sides of defense, talking about they can rush the passer and they could also play coverage. Nolan Henderson, to me, in that offense, gives them a slight edge in this game. I like Delaware straight up to win this one.
All right, so it comes down to the Blue Hens defense and Jackrabbits run game between those two. Give me your best bet for this matchup here.
Take Delaware to win straight up. So take Delaware in the points here. The Blue Hens have been playing outstanding football. They play with a purpose. Going back to the earlier parts of spring, their defense was dominant. The offense caught up to the defense, and they've been on a tear in the playoffs. So I like Delaware to win straight up, outright, all day, and look for an all CAA championship game.
All right, what about that over? I feel like you like that as well. Am I right?
Yeah, the over is going to be cool because here's the thing. South Dakota State, they can score. And yeah, their defense can be a bit inconsistent, but they can put points up on the board in bunches. They have the Yankee twins out there at wide receiver. And Delaware has proven they can push the pace if need be. They needed a lot of points to knock off their in-state rival Delaware State earlier in the spring. So I look for both teams to move the ball up and down the field. But at the end of the day, I'm going to trust the experienced quarterback in Nolan Henderson. So yes, look for the over to hit in this one.
All right, I'm going to start labeling all my parlay bets cool, so I appreciate that as always. Emory Hunt laying it down for us for the FCS Semifinals. The dapper Emory Hunt, let me get that right. Appreciate it, my friend. Take care. Don't forget, you can also get those betting angles, the Early Edge, a Sportsline betting podcast. Of course, Jonathan Coachman, along with some of the experts, Larry Hartstein, the maestro, Mike McClure, giving you all you need for those daily picks. It only takes 10 minutes at 11 a.m. Eastern every morning. Download and give them a follow and get in on this money.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.